doing on your day off, Jason? I'm going camping. Oh, that sounds like a really good idea. Have fun. Close. Oh yes. Oh yeah, welcome back. I'm just going out for a wild camp tonight. Up on top of the highest peak outside of County Kerry here in Ireland. I'm heading up to Lugnaquilla. So don't really know what to expect. The weather is meant to kick off early tomorrow morning, but I'm just kind of taking it as it comes. I was just making sure I wasn't going to get shot. I can hear some gunshots in the distance, so I just wanted to make extra sure, you know. The flag is lying on the ground, so I'm not too bad. I think the first job is to get my layers on because it is very, very cold. It's really cold up here. So, priority number one. And I'm up here now, so there's no point rushing trying to beat the sun. It can do what it likes now. I just thought of something. This is very moist after the hike, so I'm going to change out of this and put on my British Army base layer. And yeah, thought I'd do that before I put the wool jumper on. I've had to double peg a lot of the pints because the ground is very rocky, so they're not going in straight down, they're kind of just lying down under the grass, you know. So I've double pegged them just to be on the safe side. I don't think the wind is meant to be too bad. It's kind of hit and miss. One forecast says it's going to be really windy, the other one says it's going to be nice and calm. So we'll just see what happens. I'm not going to worry about it. There's frost on my bag already. I'm going to put on my waterproof jacket as well. I decided not to bring up my really big down jacket, just in an effort to save weight. And yeah, I thought this was a good idea to try and, you know, build up some sort of microclimate inside my jacket. The good old layering system, you know. So my layers on top are British Army thermal base layer, long sleeved. I have a wool jumper that I got from a charity shop. It's 50% merino wool. Got it for a fiver. My jacket is a Rab Microlight, I think it's called. And this is a Corinthia Gore-Tex jacket. It's an army surplus. I think they make it for the Austrian army. That looks absolutely beautiful. I can see for miles. I modified my Dutch Army bag cover because I use it as a ground sheet. So I just kind of stuck a bit of bungee on each of the corners so that I can peg it out and it won't move, because it was just a nightmare. The foil sheet, I just thought I'd throw it under my arse to keep me a little tushy warm. So I have a piece of DIY gear that I'm trying out tonight. This is a boot liner that I made from a foil mat. And yeah, I'm going to give it a bash tonight. The last time I was out, I tried a wool insole and it just didn't keep my feet warm. So my feet are freezing at the minute. So I want to get this on. They'll go into the boot first. As you can tell, very fashionable. These are Silverlight socks. They're their winter socks. I'm trying them out. I have a pair of their hiking socks on at the moment. And these were sent to me, so I'm just testing them out. But yeah, hopefully they'll keep me toes nice and toasty. And then I have a fleece welly boot liner. So I'll be putting me... that comes up to nearly my knee. So I'm taking out the insole of my boot because I'm not going to be moving around too much. I'm actually going to put on my sock and have all that, and then I'll put it all on my foot, and then I'll put my foot into the boot, if you know what I mean. Even just changing the socks is a good idea, because obviously the socks I hiked up in are damp from sweat and whatever, so putting on a fresh pair is always a good idea. A very snug fit. And then that was in there. Let's try and adjust my table. I think it's not very level. It's that cold that it's frozen, and my cup nearly went for a nearly went sliding off. That's a bit better. Oh, I have to say, my feet are not warm, so it's back to the drawing board. If you have any suggestions, let me know. I'd be very interested to hear them. But yeah, my old toes are cold, you know, which I'm not very impressed with now, I have to say. Put a lot of work into those liners, you know. But just to round up the whole system I have going here, I have some base layers that I got from Lidl, I think it was. So I have those on. They're thermal base layers as well. Just my trousers, and then these are British Army softy trousers. And that's it. That's all my layers. Sorry, merino wool glove liners that are in tatters. These are from Decathlon. They're mittens. And this is a Dutch Army wool hat. It's the warmest hat I've ever owned. It's very, very good. And it only costs like $4.60 or something like that anyway. And if you want a brand new one, I think it's like €6. But the super grade one is cheaper. Oh yeah. I've been looking forward to this. I tell you that. I have a twirl bar. So I'm just going to sit back for about 20 minutes, half an hour, drink my tea, look out at the view, and just slow down, because what's the rush? You know, what is the rush? I have an army ration pack there. We'll have an old gander at that now in a few minutes. The reason that I wanted to show you all of the layers that I'm wearing and all that jazz was because I thought it might be helpful, but also I'm trying to test out my gear for me and see what works and what doesn't work and all that jazz. I'm at it the whole time, but I really have a good bit of stuff here tonight that I want to test out as the winter progresses, because I'm way outside my comfort zone. I never parked where I parked. I never did the hike that I just did. I've never camped where I'm camping. I'm wearing, you know, I have gear out that I've never used. I didn't know what to expect when I got here. It could have been a foot of snow, or it could have been frozen solid up here. I had no idea what I was letting myself in for. And that kind of built up. All those little things just built up, and I got very, very anxious before I left the house. And I really had to make myself just leave. And I'm happy I gave myself that push to just get out the door. And I was saying it to myself, you know, and it makes sense that it's only natural to be anxious when you're going out in those situations where there's so many unknowns and you're kind of outside your comfort zone. But it's outside your comfort zone where you're going to learn the most. And I think that's important, is to push your comfort zones a little bit. Not too mad, like, you don't go crazy. You know? But gradually ease yourself into it. So this is me easing myself into winter camping, because the last 2 seasons I wasn't able to go, like the last 2 winter seasons, because I had an old back injury. So this winter I want to make the most of it, but I don't want to be coming up to somewhere like here in 3 foot of snow and not have any experience of being out in cold conditions. Do you know what I mean? Like, if I went from camping in the summer, right, in Ireland, still not the best weather, but say I went from camping in the summer to trying to go up a mountain with deep snow and all sorts of crack, it would just be madness, because I wouldn't have built up the experience with these type of temperatures, and then gradually I went out in colder and colder temperatures. That's where my head was at. I'm out here testing gear, trying to get myself comfortable in these sort of conditions, and I just thought I'd share that with you. Let's have a look at this ration pack, because I am starving. It's menu 12, elbow macaroni in tomato sauce. So there's the elbow macaroni in tomato sauce, peanut butter, wheat snack bread, strawberry jam, dry roasted peanuts, mango peach apple sauce. That could be nice. There's a little tub of Tabasco. You get your pouch with the sugar, the nice towelette, and there's a creamer in there, so there's a coffee. Yeah, Bill's Brew. You have a chocolate protein drink powder. Nice. Hot chocolate. Yeah, boys. You get your spoon, your drink pouch, your heat pouch, and your bit of cardboard. I'm just going to leave the lid on and let the water heat up before I put the pouch in, just to save on fuel. The old backpack was very heavy today. Very heavy. I even repacked it and I managed to save 2 kilos off the weight. One was taking out that massive down jacket that I have. The other thing was I kind of calculated how much water I was going to need. So I wasn't going to bring excess water up here. And that made a big difference as well. Yeah, there was just like an extra pair of socks in there that I didn't know was there. Another hat. You know, stuff I didn't even know was in the bag. I can't remember the last camp I had that was dry. Now there's no promises on the morning. The forecast is all over the shop. Some forecasts have it kicking off. That's going to get really windy and raining and all that in the morning, which would not be good on top of all of this frost. And I'm very exposed, like very exposed to where I am. So we'll see what happens. Some of them say it's later in the day, so it'll actually be good to see which one is more accurate, because I never know which one to listen to. I suppose I'll have to have another cup of tea now that I have the water boiling. Oh no. Oh. Whoopsie daisies. It's gonna be messy. Oh no. That's what you're dealing with there now. Oh yeah. That is the business. No, maybe it's because I haven't eaten in many hours and burnt thousands of calories. But it's pretty good. Oh yeah. It's chilly. I'm very happy with my ground sheet. It's always the simple bits of gear that I'm most impressed with. Like that table. I love that table. I was getting a bit worried there when my cup nearly went flying earlier on, but it seems to be okay now for some reason. It's not frozen. There is a frozen drop of tea on it. But yeah, no, the ground sheet, it's much better like this. And I can justify the extra few little pegs, because if I ever needed to double peg a few of my tie-out pints, I can just nick those and use them, you know. And I'm very happy that I brought this tent with me. It's been a long time since I've used it. So I'm looking forward to getting in there later on now. Getting my toes warm because my feet are not warm. Yeah, I really thought I was onto a sure thing with those, but no such luck. No harm in trying, I suppose. Let's have a look at this wheat snack bread and see what it's like. Pretty sure I've had this one before. Well, maybe not. That's what you're dealing with there. I got a new knife. Here he goes, talking about gear again. But I got myself a new knife for Christmas. I was about to go out the door and I couldn't find my Swiss Army knife, so I just opened this to set off. It'll be grand. It's a little open-all knife. I'm very aware that I opened that very close to my tent. It is extremely sharp. So, yeah, no, it's very fancy. It's carbon steel, so I'll have to be careful with it rusting. But I haven't had any other issues with my carbon knives. Oh baby, I'm just clearing out all my crap from inside the tent. That was inside the tent and it's frozen. This is the foil mat I had underneath my chair. So I'm going to put that underneath my sleeping mat now, which was the original intent. It's more of a backup than anything else. I do have a repair kit for my thermarest. I hope this is flat because I never checked. I just kind of pitched the tent, you know. And I think I got the inner lined up pretty well. This is the first outing for my UGQ quilt. Well, the first outing this winter. Oh, look at that. That is a thing of beauty. It's a UGQ Bandit. It's a -6 degree quilt. It's beautiful. I love it. I love it. And I have my flexi tail pillow. It's been serving me well, I have to say. I'm not making more tea. I'm going to make up a hot water bottle and put it into the foot box of the quilt. Get my toes nice and toasty. That's the plan anyway. And it'll stop that water from freezing as well, which will be really good for the morning. I have the tent pretty much sorted. I just want to move the stove over to here for the morning. But other than that, it's good to go. So it's just a matter of climbing in. Hopefully, hopefully it's level and it's not higher on that end or something, because I'd have to switch everything around. But fingers crossed. I have my toes defrosting, and yeah, I'm just gonna lay back and relax. I want to get this door closed up fairly lively because I can feel a slight breeze coming in and it's very chilly. So I have a snack bar. I'm gonna have that. I've decided not to have any more tea or anything. I don't want to be getting out or needing to use the facilities in the middle of the night. And I've decided not to have the hot chocolate. I'll keep it for another night. Just don't fancy it, you know. So hopefully the weather doesn't kick off during the night. I can't see that it will, but it is meant to be fairly rough tomorrow. At some point, I'm just hoping that I'm long gone by the time that happens. Yeah, so that's the crack. I'm just gonna lay back now, chill out, and yeah. Hopefully I'll get a good night's sleep, and I'll see you in the morning. Good night. It's only 3 o'clock in the morning. I've been laying here listening to the wind with my eyes closed, kind of hoping I was dreaming. You know? Because it is far too early for it to be windy. None of the forecasts said it would be this early. The earliest forecast said that the wind was going to kick up around 6 o'clock, and the other forecast said it would be midday. I'm going to try and get some more sleep because even for me this is too early, you know. It's just too early. Normally I get up at like 4:30, but yeah, I don't fancy being up at 4:30 this morning. I actually set my alarm for 6. Very very hopeful, wasn't it? It's 19 minutes past 5 and the wind has only gotten worse. So I have a bit of a plan. I think the best thing to do is to have breakfast now and get packed up inside the tent and just kind of wait it out until I really have to go, because I don't want to be hiking down in the dark unnecessarily. You know, it's a very dodgy hike on the way down, especially in this sort of weather with the frost that was there last night as well. If there's any sort of moisture in the air, it'd be fairly slick. So yeah, I'd like to just kind of stay put for as long as possible. So I'm gonna get the cup of tea on. Actually, I might have a cappuccino or a latte or whatever I have in the bag. Oh, that's cold and wet. New plan. I just opened the door and it was very cold. The wind is coming directly up this way. So instead I'm going to move my stove over this side and hopefully that'll just give me a little bit of comfort. You can see how the tent is being blown in. Holy moly. Yeah, it's just kind of full of condensation. It's all a bit of a mess at the moment, so bear with me. I am starving, absolutely starving. The wind is just getting worse and worse, so I want to get this sorted. I'm not going to panic, I'm not going to rush. There's no need, unless one of the pegs pops out on the corners or something like that. There'll be a bit of bother then, alright. I don't know where my lighter is, but I have my fire steel, so I'll just use that, I think. The fire steel was a pain in the arse and it didn't work, but there's my alarm. The fire steel didn't work, so yeah, I managed to find it later. It was in my waterproof jacket. I don't know why I didn't think of that. I didn't really look for it, I just thought, don't know where it is. You know? Okay, new plan. We'll light this. This is a wrapper off the tea bags. Right. Go on. Yes. Oh. Finally. While that's boiling, I'm going to start getting packed up because the wind is just getting worse and worse, and I don't want to be up here trying to pack everything with my tent in on top of me. So I need to get a bit organised. Again, we're not going to panic because there's no need. It's not going to help us by panicking. I'll let these down anyway. Get all the sleeping stuff put away. Oh boys, the joys of it. Oh yeah. What are you doing on your day off, Jason? I'm going camping. Oh yeah. That sounds like a really good idea. Have fun. Yeah, cheers, yeah. Oh lads. Sure, look, at least we can laugh. What else are you going to do in these situations? Oh, nice. If you can just see, this side is completely caving in. So I think the guy line has come off on that side. It's all just pushing in the tent. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. That guy line's gone. I'm not really surprised because it was very hard to get the pegs in. So yeah, I was expecting at least one to come out. This is where this file mat comes in handy now, because I can just leave that underneath me and it'll keep me arse warm. There's my second alarm. Where's my phone? Oh, it's good having that quilt packed away now because I can see everything else. I'm not going to bother squeezing the air out until it's gone into the bag. I always just put the lid on top just to try keep some of the heat in. I know I should probably get out and check that guy line, but I just don't fancy it. I really don't. The tent is holding fairly well. There is a little bit of bungee on that side, and there's another tie-out point at the door. The wind is getting a lot worse, so I'm gonna have this, and yeah, I'll just start really packing up then, you know. But I have a few biscuits here. I'm gonna have those while I wait on the porridge. When I get out of the tent, I'm gonna be getting out this door because all the wind is coming up here. I don't want to open that outside door and have the whole tent like a parachute and the whole thing just take off, you know. So yeah, we're getting some pretty big gusts here now. Come on, barge. How are you looking? We're not there yet. Oh yeah, that's good stuff. When you think about it, I am concerned about the tent, but the tent is what's keeping me safe, because if I'm so worried about the tent that I get packed up and then I try and hike down out here in the dark after all that frost we had last night, and now the wind and possibly a bit of rain, I don't know. It's going to be very, very dodgy going down, and I don't want to slip and fall. Basically, I'm happy to sacrifice the tent in order to save myself. You know, it's every man for himself out here. But I think that's important, you know, not to make rash decisions just to try and save a piece of equipment. It's like, it's here, it's my shelter. I'm hoping it doesn't get damaged, but I'm not going to put myself in a dangerous situation just to save myself damaging a tent, you know. No, I do have more substantial tents than this one, but the weather forecast honestly was pure calm up until at least 6 o'clock, which it is now. But on all the other forecasts it was midday, and because it was such a big hike up, I decided to bring this tent because it only weighs 860 grams or something like that, whereas the other tent I could have brought would have weighed 2.6 kilos, and I would have really felt that on the hike up, you know. But again, the other tent, it would have been absolutely fine in these conditions. It might not look very appetizing, but this is the business. just getting a few more things packed up. I'm not going anywhere yet. It's quite possible I'm after losing another peg. Let me just have a look. No, seems to be okay. Maybe I lost a bit of tension on a guy line or something. But that corner is kind of caving in a bit. I'm gonna put this is my spare head torch. I'm gonna put that in the hip belt in my pocket just in case I do have to head off in the dark. I want to have my spare to hand. I just got out to check the guy lines, and the guy line didn't slip on that side. It's just that the wind is so strong, the bungee on the bottom is just completely stretched. So it is what it is, you know. The tent is holding well considering. And yeah, the wind chill is really bad out there. It's absolutely freezing. So the longer I can stay in here, the better. I still have probably an hour until the first light. I'm going to finish getting packed up and I'm just going to hunker down until that, because yeah, the visibility out there is bad enough for up in the clag. I don't want to add darkness into the mix as well. I'm not taking down the inner of the tent because that's the only thing that's going to protect me from the wind chill, because the outer fly sheet is just it's about that high off the ground at the moment. Even though I tried to pin it down close to the ground, it's yeah, the wind is just getting in under it. All I can do now is wait and hope the tent survives. Well, it's doing really well now at the minute. Really, it doesn't look like it, but it's still standing, so I'm very impressed with it now, I have to say. Very hard conditions, and I'm pretty sure one of the peg out points isn't the best, so it's probably not a perfect pitch either. I even have my boots on inside the tent, just in case the tent collapses. Oh wow! Look at that! That is absolutely beautiful. Well, red sky in the morning is a shepherd's warning. Let's get out here. I'm all wrapped up. I didn't leave any trace. It is absolutely Baltic up here. I'm not going to record going down, no matter how much I'd like to show you the experience of it. It's just too unsafe, and it's not worth it for the sake of a YouTube video. So I hope you enjoyed this little video, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Good luck.